Hi class, how are you? We are now in the fourth quarter. This is teacher Geraldine again to bring you more lessons in computer system servicing. This video is good for 4 weeks. So your lesson for weeks 1 to 4 is about maintain network system. For your learning competencies, maintain network system. Specifically, follow OHS procedures in maintaining network systems, identify procedures in maintaining network systems, check or run diagnostic software, adhere to the recommended schedule and techniques in maintaining and cleaning network systems, and respond to sudden breakdowns of network systems in accordance with established procedures. And to guide you with our discussion, this is the question for you. How do you maintain computer network systems? So let's start with discussing the procedures on how to maintain computer network and system. So first, create an equipment maintenance schedule. So in order to perform the maintenance of your computer efficiently, a maintenance schedule is made to guide the personnel in the proper maintenance procedure. This will help them remember the maintenance task that needs to be done in order to improve the functionality of the computer system and networks. Create a maintenance checklist. So to determine the maintenance program is implemented according to what is planned, an assessment must be done. The result of the assessment will then be recorded and reported to the proper authorities for immediate action. This assessment is through regular inspections, which assure that the maintenance activities are done on the date and time was planned, and that the performance levels adhere to the defined standard. So we have here the example computer maintenance schedule. So for our activities later on, so you can use this as your reference for your maintenance schedule. So it must include the equipment type, code if there is one, the location, and most importantly your activities, like for example clean computers and printers, check for viruses, and then manpower. Instead of IT personnel, you can select student. So is it done daily, every other day, weekly, monthly, and of course your remarks if it is successful or not successful. So another procedure for maintaining computer system and network is to perform the computer maintenance task regularly. Just knowing all the basics of computer maintenance task schedule clearly will not be enough. So you must find time to apply all the maintenance procedure regularly and frequently. Make computer maintenance activities a regular practice so that you always have a fine-tuned computer with good performance. Perform network maintenance procedures. So networks are used to transmit information and electricity through cables. So installing these networks, utmost care must be applied to protect the network installers from injury. Procedures must also be followed to ensure that those around the network cables do not become the victims of electrical fires or other hazards. So first, the duct systems. So networks are sometimes installed in duct systems. So there is a concern that the network cables might become damaged during construction, so the ducts must be built away from planned future road construction and utilities according to the International Telecommunication Union. The manholes placed in the roads must be kept away from intersections so that the network installation and repair workers are not at risk of being hit by a vehicle. Optical lasers. So networks that use optical lasers uses invisible radiation that is emitted by these lasers. So before installing the laser operation manual and safety guide must be read according to NetApp. No one should stare inside the optical ports from where the lasers emit their light, or else blindness could result. So when working with the laser, safety goggles must always be worn. Falling. So many networks are run along utility poles, which are wooden poles that have network cables raised high above the ground. So when installing these cables, falling can be disastrous given the height of the utility poles. Therefore, network installers should wear safety harness to ensure that they do not fall. De-energize. Some networks have cables that are electrically charged. These cables must be de-energized, and tests should be used to ensure that the cables do not have any remaining electricity in them. The tools that are used for repairing the cables are insulated so that electricity does not travel through them and into the hands of the line repairer. Cable safety standards. So network cables must have certain characteristics to be legally used for networks. So the cables must not produce flames that can ignite anything. They must not have halogen. They must not produce acidic fumes. They must be resistant to ionizing radiation. Cables must be coded so that those working with the cables can identify what they are. Cable inspection. Networks must only be installed by licensed professionals. Building inspectors must check the network cables to ensure that they are installed properly and that they will not create a fire hazard. These building inspections are especially important when the property containing the network cables is sold. Safe working conditions help prevent injury to people and damage to computer equipment. A safe workspace is clean, organized, and properly lighted. Everyone must understand and follow safety procedures. So you must follow the basic safety guidelines to prevent cuts, burns, electrical shock, and damage to eyesight. As best practice, make sure that a fire extinguisher and first aid kit are available in case of fire or injury. Poorly placed or unsecured cables can cause tripping hazards in a network installation. So cables should be installed in conduit or cable trays to prevent hazards. And you must also follow these basic safety precautions to observe when working with computer. First, remove your watch and jewelry and secure loose clothing. Turn the power off and unplug equipment before performing services. Cover sharp edges inside the computer case with tape. Never open a power supply or CRT monitor. Do not touch areas in printers that are hot or that use high voltage. Know where the fire extinguisher is located and how to use it. Keep food and drinks out of your workspace. Keep your workspace clean and free of clutter. And bend your knees when lifting heavy objects to avoid injury in your back. As an ICT student, you must also follow electrical safety guidelines to prevent electrical fires, injuries, and fatalities in the home and also in the workplace. Follow safety guidelines to protect lives, structures, and equipment, and to avoid an electrical shock and to prevent damage to the computer, turn off and unplug the computer before beginning a repair. So here are the general information on electrical safety. Electrical equipment that is plugged into a power source should never be handled if your hands or feet are wet. Do not allow cables and plugs to get wet. Thus, keep liquids away from electrical component. Unplug equipment by pulling on the plug, not the cord. Damaged electrical equipment that constitute an electrical hazard are not to be used until properly repaired or replaced. Never connect electrical cords in series. All electrical circuits, disconnects, or panels must not be blocked. Ground pins on the plugs and devices plugged into the receptacles must be intact. Do not store flammable liquids near electrical equipment. So fire can spread rapidly, can be very costly. Proper use of fire extinguisher can prevent a small fire from getting out of control. So in working with computer components, be aware of the possibility of an accidental fire and know how to react. Be alert to notice others by emitting from computers and electronic devices. When electronic components overheat or short out, they emit a burning odor. So if there's a fire, follow these safety procedures. Never fight a fire that is out of control or not contained. Always have a planned fire escape route before beginning any work. Get out of the building quickly. Contact emergency services for help. And locate and read the instructions on the fire extinguishers in your workplace before you use them. So here are the different types of fires that we must know. So first, the Class A. So it is fires in an ordinary combustible such as wood, paper, cloth, trash, and plastics. That is Class A. Class B are fires in flammable liquids such as gasoline, petroleum oil, and paint. Class B fires also include flammable gases such as propane and butane. Class B fires do not include fires involving cooking oils and grease. Class C fires are fires involving energized electrical equipment such as motors, transformers, and appliances. So we are very prone to this Class C. Remember to remove the power and the Class C fire becomes one of the other classes of fire. Class D. Class D fires are fires in combustible metals such as potassium, sodium, aluminum, and magnesium. And then the Class K fires are fires in cooking oils and greases such as animal fats and vegetable fats. So there are three most common types of fire extinguishers. First, we have the water and foam fire extinguishers. It snuffs the fire by taking away the heat element of the fire triangle. Foam agents also separate the oxygen element from the other elements. Water extinguishers are for Class A fires only. They should not be used on Class B or Class C fires. The discharge stream could spread the flammable liquid in a Class B fire or could create a shock hazard on a Class C fire. We have another carbon dioxide fire extinguishers. It snuffs fire by taking away the oxygen element of the fire triangle and also removing the heat with a very cold discharge. So carbon dioxide can be used on Class B and C fires. They are usually ineffective on Class A fires. And the dry chemical fire extinguishers. It extinguishes the fire primarily by interrupting the chemical reaction of the fire triangle. Today's most widely used type of fire extinguisher is the multi-purpose dry chemical that is effective on Class A, B, and C fires. Now, this agent also works by creating a barrier between the oxygen element and the fuel element on Class A fires. So you can use the memory aid PASS or PASS to remember the basic rules of fire extinguisher operation. So P, for pull the pin. A, aim at the base of the fire, not at the flames. S, squeeze the lever. Another S, for sweep the nozzle from side to side. And we're done. So to maintain computer network systems, as an ICT student, you must create an equipment maintenance schedule, create a maintenance checklist, perform computer maintenance tasks regularly, perform network maintenance procedures, follow safety precautions when working with computers, understand the general information about electrical safety, follow fire safety procedures. Now here are your activities. So for weeks 1 to 4, refer to your learning activity sheets, maintain network systems. For for weeks 1 and 2, answer activities 1 and 2 in page 6 and do the activity 5 in page 7. So take note, class, activity 5 in your learning activity sheets should be performed for 4 weeks, meaning weeks 1 and 2, 3 and 4. That is about maintenance procedure. For week 3, refer also to the same learning activity sheets, answer activity 3 in page 6, and again do the activity 5 in page 7. And for week 4, so do the activity 4, page 7, activity 5 again, page 7, and then answer the reflection in page 7. So once you're done, you may send it offline using USB or online through Messenger or email. So that would be all, class. See you in the next weeks for our 4th quarter. Thank you for watching. Goodbye and God bless.